All right, we're taking time now. We appreciate it to talk to CBS News Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto. He's joining us now with what the latest numbers are indicating. Anthony, what are you watching for before behind Trump's lead and all?
Hey there, Amy. So tonight in Iowa, about 8 o'clock Eastern, the caucus doors will close. People will start voting. We'll probably see a lot of those results as we head toward 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific. But CBS is going to be watching. Okay, Donald Trump has had a lead going in to the caucuses. We'll see what happens in all that cold weather. We'll be watching then Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis are probably jockeying for second and third, and that could be important because then that's bragging rights, that's attention going into New Hampshire. So I think that's important. And then the other part of this is that you want to understand what they're trying to do overall, and that is catch Donald Trump nationally too, because right now in our national polling, Trump has his highest level of support that he has had throughout this campaign. He's up to 69% now. He's got the most people who say they won't change their minds, and most people who say that they're strong supporters. That's a challenge for the other candidates, Amy.
And generally, what do Republican voters think of his most recent controversial remarks, like immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country?
Well, we tested that, and there was agreement from a majority, particularly from Republicans who call themselves MAGA, and part of that was because Donald Trump said it, and that got an even higher percentage of agreement. But the other part of this that I think is important is if you look at the way in which Donald Trump gets response on the idea of charging his political opponents were he to get into office. There again, we see these breaks where MAGA identifying Republicans are much more likely to agree with that idea than non-MAGA, and that speaks to larger breaks within the party on some of these subjects. Having said that, Donald Trump still spans parts of the party. People who want tax cuts are voting for him. People who consider themselves MAGA are voting for him. And that's really part of what's behind his very large lead, Amy.
Well, which Republican candidate is showing the most promise in a potential matchup against President Biden?
Well, look, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in these primaries. But I will tell you this, because in hypothetical matchups against Joe Biden, now, this may or may not happen because we'll see who wins the primaries, but Nikki Haley has an 8-point lead in that hypothetical matchup. In fact, all the Republicans that we tested have a lead. Ron DeSantis up 3 points, again, hypothetical, and former President Trump has a 2-point edge. And part of the reason for this, Amy, is that the president is trailing in part because of views on the economy. People say that they might be worse off if he wins again rather than better, and that's part of that impact of inflation that we've been seeing really weighing on his numbers. And I think it sets up a really big question heading into 2024, Amy.
All right. Thank you so much, Anthony. We certainly appreciate your insight.